So the debt limit, everybody, the debt ceiling, the financial obligations of the United States of America. First of all, let's talk about this. No one knows what the fuck this is, right? So I don't know what the debt ceiling is. You don't know what the debt ceiling is. Your grandma certainly doesn't know what the fucking debt ceiling is. Uncle Jeffrey doesn't know what the debt ceiling is. No one in this country knows what the fuck the debt ceiling is. So let's get that out of the way right now. The percentage of Americans who understand what the debt ceiling means is 0%. Not even the politicians involved know what the fuck this means. Not even the Treasury Secretary knows what the fuck this shit is. So anyway, with that being said, let's read. Democrats respond to GOP calls for debt ceiling negotiations. No. So, what's going on here? So basically, the Republicans want to hold our country hostage, right? In the sense that they don't want to approve a budget, right, that's going to increase the debt ceiling, which is the total amount of debt the United States can take on, because, we're at a deficit all the time, which means we're adding to the debt all the time, which means we need to constantly expand the debt ceiling, okay? And so Republicans are like, whoa, we're now going to do this. We're going to cut Social Security or Medicaid or something. How are you going to pay for it? How are you going to pay for it? When it comes to giving corporations a shitload of money, we'll find a way to pay for it. When it comes to paying our international obligations, I gotta pay for it. Let's cut Social Security, right? And so they're gonna try to hold the government hostage. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know. Will Democrats actually call them out on this? They say that now. They're saying, yeah, go fuck yourself, do the right thing or don't. Right now, they're calling their bluff. But we'll see. I mean, I don't know. Democrats aren't usually this strong. So, maybe they've got a strategy. I'm not sure. So this is from MSNBC. Late last week, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen sent an important letter to House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. The Cabinet Secretary explained that the United States would hit the debt ceiling this Thursday, January 19, and it was time for Congress to begin taking necessary steps to prevent default. It's worth emphasizing that hitting the debt ceiling this week does not mean that the default is just a few days away. Rather, the Treasury Department will now begin a series of moves described as certain extraordinary measures to prevent a crisis, but those temporary measures will be exhausted by early June. Before that deadline, lawmakers will have to agree to allow the government to pay its own bills. So once again, I don't know what the debt ceiling means. You don't know what the debt ceiling means. Kevin McCarthy doesn't know what the debt ceiling means. Janet Yellen, this is bullshit. This is just made up. Money is made up, right? But then this is many orders and layers of just make-believe fairy tale garbage. So we need to print more money to pay our debts with this fake money, right? And if we don't do an arbitrary House bill, then the country's not going to pay its debt. What? Why does the country work like this? Because we live in a fucking freak show. This is a freak show nation. This is a freak show planet. But more importantly, this is a freak show nation, right? And we got the freaks in charge. The inmates are running the asylum here. I told you all, once Republicans take power, it's over. It's done. Right? The House Speaker thing. Remember that? Is Kevin McCarthy going to be Speaker? Whoa! What's going to happen? You're crazy! Right? Remember that? Well, now we're in round 3 of that, and it's about to get pretty spicy. So if you thought the House Speakership thing was entertaining, this will be pretty good. So, once again, are Democrats going to hold strong on this? I don't know. But an even more important question is, why is this even a thing in the first place? Why didn't Democrats do this over the last couple of months? Is this part of a larger strategy to make the Republicans look foolish? Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Because, alright, if the strategy is we want Republicans to look foolish, well, you're going to have to fight that war. And it might take a while. Are Democrats ready to buckle in until June? Are Democrats ready to halt the government until June? Or beyond? Are they ready to fight that fight? Because we know Republicans are crazy. We know they're going to do that shit anyway. Are Democrats willing to actually put their feet down? Or are they just going to cause a disaster, essentially, and then just watch the fucking show, and then just bail them out later? And then it's like, why did we even go through that in the first place, right? So we'll see. But anyway, let's keep reading. Quote, failure to meet the government's obligations would cause irreparable harm to the U.S. economy, the livelihoods of all Americans, and global financial stability. Here's an idea. Buy canned food. Canned vegetables, canned potatoes, that's a vegetable. Canned beans. Buy some canned food. I'm just a recommendation. No reason or anything, but just thought I would throw that out there. If you don't have like a 6-month supply of food, work on it. Okay, that's my opinion. Yellen said, accurately describing reality. She added that even threatening default has caused real harms, including the only credit rating downgrade in the history of our nation in 2011. A day earlier, the new House Speaker told reporters that as far as he's concerned, there's no need to wait until the last minute. President Joe Biden, McCarthy said, should begin the process now of negotiating with GOP leaders and making them happy as to avoid a default. So once again, what would be the negotiation? Get rid of Social Security, cut it down, whittle down Medicaid, Medicare, social programs, EBT, food stamps, right? That's what they're going to do. That's their goal, is they want to cut down your stuff. So your parents can go back to eating cat food, just like they were in the Great Depression. Democrats are not just rejecting Republicans' demands. The party that controls the White House and the Senate are also explicitly rejecting the very idea of negotiations. The Washington Post reported the following. Congress must raise the debt limit without conditions, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said Friday, soon after Treasury Secretary Janet L. Yellen, holy shit, announced that her agency will begin extraordinary measures next week, blah, blah, blah. We will not be doing any negotiation over the debt ceiling. So again, they're calling the bluff. Okay, Democrats are strong for once. I'm in. You know what? I'm here to tell you, Democrats being strong, I am all the way in on this. But how's it going to end? Because if Democrats bail them out 6 months from now, this will have all been for nothing. If Democrats bail them out a year from now, this will all be for nothing. That's my opinion. So I want to see some tangible gains out of this stunt. If Democrats are actually going to put their foot down for once in my lifetime, I want to see some actual fucking gains. I want to see Republicans capitulate. I want to see Republicans beg. I want to see Republicans whine. Let's make it a fun game. If Democrats want to play the game, let's make it fun. In the same press briefing, Jean-Pierre added that the process, quote, should be done without conditions. And that's how we will see this process moving forward. There's going to be no negotiation. Jean-Pierre was clearly articulating a position held by all Democratic leaders. Brian Deese, director of the National Economic Council, also said Friday, it's a sacred obligation. The full faith and credit of the United States and Congress is going to have to deal with the debt limit and do so without conditions, without games, and without putting our economy at risk. Democratic Senator Brian Schatz recently articulated the party's position using even more direct language. Now, I like this quote. This is a good quote. Now, again, Democrats being this strong, I'm in, right? But if this is just for the dog and pony show and then they're going to bend over next week or next month or next year, then I'm out, right? It's that simple. If you're going to call the bluff, play the whole thing. But let's read this. Quote, this is Brian Schatz. In exchange for not crashing the United States economy, you get nothing. Schatz said in an interview with the Daily Beast, you don't get a cookie. You're just a person doing the bare minimum of not intentionally screwing over your constituents for insane reasons. Okay. So we're calling the Republican Party insane. Now, that's a step up from, Democrats of history calling the Republican Party what they are, insane, and also making fun of them in public. Now, again, if Democrats keep this shit together, and of course, Democrats are only as strong as their weakest link, and that weakest link is Joe Manchin, or should I say Chuck Schumer, we'll see. But I mean, hey, asked about GOP calls that Democrats join Republicans at the negotiating table, the Hawaiian senator added, "We have to tell them there is no table." I like it. I like it. There is, we gotta meet at the table. There is none. I'm sorry. We're moving. We're renovating. The table's gone. There's no table. In some circles, this might be seen as controversial. After all, much of the political world sees an inherent value in Democrats and Republicans sitting down, engaging in talks, and negotiating. Okay, first of all, I don't know what the fuck. After all, much of the political world, this is like the many people are saying. Anyone that likes bipartisanship is a fucking goofball. Anyone that thinks bipartisanship, oh yeah, right? Like, you have a low IQ. I'm sorry. It's just the case that you have a low IQ. I don't know what to tell you, okay? I guess maybe I broke the stream there for a second. I don't know what's going on here. But either way, let's keep going. What makes the debt ceiling qualitatively different is that this isn't a policy dispute. What Republicans are doing is manufacturing a hostage crisis, effectively telling Democrats that the GOP is prepared to harm Americans on purpose unless their demands are met. For all intents and purposes, it is a Republican extortion scheme. Now, that I agree with. It is an extortion scheme. But again, are Democrats going to keep this shit up? I don't know. I'm not sure. But either way, this will be entertaining. You can read whatever the Republicans said. I don't give a shit. This will definitely be entertaining. Will it be fun? Maybe. Will it be cool? Possibly. But it will definitely be entertaining. That I can tell you. So there you go.